So Cody was up next. His opponent, Pretty Peter Avalon. The former librarian, well, there was two librarians. When they started this fiasco, there was the male librarian and the female librarian, and they would come up and shh each other. That was cutting-edge wrestling gimmickry right there. Well, they've dropped the librarian now. Wonder why? And I guess since they've been paying this idiot for well over a year, they decided to put him on television. He's got to be one of the palest human beings I've ever seen. He can't weigh 190 pounds. And he literally looks like the guy at the resort that thinks he's sexy in Speedos, but is actually looks like an emaciated victim of anorexia. And this was Cody's opponent. And Cody, the announcer said, had made the statement he was going to beat this guy in 1 minute or less. Cody roars out of the fucking blocks, hits his finish, the crossroads, boom, and immediately music, and out on the stage comes Jane Cargill. And all I could think of, Brian, was you.
Let me tell you something. I popped when she deserves her proper name being used. When Jade Cargill came out on that stage, I popped. I said, oh my God, I can't wait to see where this goes. What's she going to do? And it turns out she did barely anything, and she turned around and left.
Well, I froze this, and I yelled at Stace because it was the long shot of her on the stage, and she don't know what's going on in this program. So she comes in from the kitchen. I said, look on the stage at Shelton Benjamin wearing that blonde wig, because she loves Shelton. We've known Shelton 20 years.
That's not nice.
I said, look, and she looked and said, is that Shelton?
That's
because it's close enough.
That's messed up.
Anyway, literally, Jane Cargill walks out on the stage. Cody turns around and looks at her. She turns around and walks off, and he turns around, and Peter Avalon football kicks him right in the nuts. And the referee didn't see it. This is going to be, I wrote, this is going to be competitive. And it was. For the next 10 minutes, Cody proceeded to get the shit kicked out of him by Pretty Peter Avalon. He let a 170-pound job guy superplex him off the top rope. He fought back and let Avalon stop him, and then they went to break. It's a 2-segment match. In the same vein as that incredible match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mike Bell that went 20 minutes on Raw. Avalon on the second half of this thing missed a moonsault, and Cody on purpose missed a leapfrog, came down on him so that he could stop himself again. And Peter Avalon did a shitty dive outside, and Cody sold it like he'd been hit with an atomic bomb. Cody made a comeback, got the figure 4 leg lock on this guy, and the guy reversed it. He reversed the figure 4 leg lock on Cody. Do you remember when George South did that to Ric Flair? Every week on him. And then Cody turned it back over, and apparently Avalon was supposed to slap Cody Rhodes in the face. Well, he reached over, because you can reach, if you reach good in the figure 4, you can reach the other guy's face if he's sitting up. But he whiffed the slap on Cody, made no noise, barely touched his face. And then Cody dramatically throws his hand up and draws his hand back like he's going to slap Peter Avalon. The guy that has given superplexes off the top rope, that reversed the figure 4, that football kicked this guy in the balls, that has been kicking the shit out of Cody Rhodes for the previous 10 minutes. Cody draws back to slap him, and Avalon goes, oh shit, and taps to avoid being slapped in the face. That was the finish of this match. Am I lying?
Nope.
That was the finish of this match. The guy that had done all this shit for the previous 10 minutes was scared of getting slapped in the face and tapped out like a big pussy. Dusty just vomited someplace.
Look, this whole episode was one of the worst episodes of Dynamite they've ever done, which is saying a lot. This match was ridiculous. Cody's had competitive matches with everyone. And this guy looked worse than almost everyone he's had a competitive match with. There was no reason to do this. Cody has been just directionless for a long period of time. When you really think about it, even the Brody Lee matches, which again, Brody Lee destroys him. The Dark Order beats up the entire Nightmare family. Cody's gone, returns with dark hair, gets the dog collar match, wins the title. He's back to being Cody again. Other than that, he's done like nothing in a year that stands out.
Well, but think about this also, though. They all say, well, you don't understand. This is done so long term, and they specifically didn't put the belts on the Bucks and Olivier for the first year so they could stay away from it, give somebody else a chance. They should have stayed away permanently. But they keep acting like there's this grand, overreaching, long-term, multi-year plan for all of these guys, and the show is literally put together week to week, obviously. You can obviously, week to week, it's fucking put together based on, I guess, what they want to do that week. It doesn't make any sense. So they're really hiding the logic of their long-term planning. And again, I say, I'm sorry. But old Jane, besides the fact that you can just tell that she is in over her head verbally, and as soon as she gets in the ring, will be in over her head physically. And a lot of people on the internet say, oh, she's a great athlete. She was a basketball player. So was Linda fucking Miles. I can tell by the way that she stands in a promo that she is going to be green as a pepper tree in a match, and she's going to suck. And they have put, there's still going to be more with Shaq. Supposedly Cody, after getting the shit kicked out of him by a fucking grease monkey from the local Exxon station here, next week is going to talk about the comments that Shaq made when his heel wife threw a glass of water in Shaq's face, I guess.
A month ago. Longer, yeah.
The ill feelings have grown since then. But the point is, Jane Cargill, she may be something someday, but she ain't going to be today or tomorrow or any day next week. She's green as grass. She's over her head. It's awkward as fuck to watch. A lot of people are saying she's beautiful. Some people like to have their balls nailed to a step stool also. I think she's got the legs of Rhino and the fucking upper body of goddamn Shelton Benjamin. But nevertheless, the only time I've ever seen anybody this unprepared, any female this unprepared, being pushed into a major spot in the wrestling business is if somebody was currently fucking her or wants to fuck her. And I don't know which of the two that may be applicable here, but I guarantee it's one of them.
I don't know.
Because there's no other reason.
They elevate so many untalented, stupid people on that show. They ran into someone who happens to have an athletic background who's, if she's not on the gas, she looks like she's on the gas. So she has a great build. She has a look. She obviously has a friendship with Shaq. And they're training her in their training school.
No. We established that she doesn't have a friendship with Shaq, didn't we?
No, did we?
Whoa. It's all been bullshit. Didn't he say something? He's married.
I didn't say he's fucking her. I said
what the? Oh yeah, like Shaquille O'Neal's going to be friends with this girl, just bosom buddies and lifelong pals.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that. She's a college basketball player. Maybe he got to know her through that because he was a basketball player. That's like
Ric Flair being platonic friends with a woman under the age of 75.
Don't compare people to Ric Flair in that sense. But I'll tell you this.
Shaq wishes he could measure up to.
I'll tell you this. Jade Cargill, she needs a lot of work on a lot of things. But with that said, I want to see her do everything. I want to see her do a tope. I want to see her get in there and lock up with. I want to see it all because I've enjoyed every second she's been on TV since she first debuted. And we've seen a lot of women wrestlers. We've seen a lot of wrestlers overall who are not ready. They are not prepared. They get in the ring. Sometimes it was on this episode of Dynamite. And the basics, they can't get down. And they look lost in a match. I have a feeling she's not going to be very good in the ring. But she will look like she is so confident doing all this stuff badly that I want to see it. I want to be along for the whole ride. I think she is the most captivating character on this show since she has debuted. And you can't disagree with that. Who is more captivating than Jade Cargill on this show?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me just see. American Heritage Dictionary. Captivating.
Captivating.
Captivating. There's catheter. Hold on.
Not that.
Captivate. To attract and hold by charm, beauty, or excellence.
She is captivating.
I don't know. Maybe more like
captivating Jade Cargill.
Maybe more like captive, held as prisoner, kept under restraint or control, restrained by circumstances that prevent free choice. All right, anyway, moving on.